This video is for Shopware beginners, and I'd like to briefly explain how the customer overview in the administration works. Generally, I also recommend that anyone who's new takes the User Essentials learning path in the Community Hub. It teaches you a lot already, and this topic here is also, I'd say covered in even more detail there, but let's take a look at it now. Specifically, let's switch to the administration for that, and just go through the menu together and the options you have there. We're now in the administration in the current Shopware version 6.7.9, and if we click on our customers here on the left side, then we see overview right here and can open it up. Here I already have 78 customers stored. There are also always little flags. In total, there are actually 3. First, there's nothing behind it, behind the name. Then the customer is self-created, so they registered normally in the storefront or wherever it might be. Then there's also created by admin. That means it was created by an admin here in the administration. And then finally, there are the guest customers. I don't think there's an example ready here right now, but basically, it looks similar to created by admin. There would then simply be another flag that says guest customer. Exactly, that's often a customer account created by a guest order where, well, simply put, no real full customer account is created, but just the data needed for that specific order. Exactly. Now on the left side, we always have the name, street, zip code, and so on, and we can also see customer group, email address, and such. If we don't like this view here and we say, hey, I don't know, I'm not interested in the street here in the overview. For example, I just want to know what number they have, for instance, or which customer group they're in, then I can adjust the entire display here super easily. It's also very intuitive. I could say, for example, maybe, hey, it's super important for me to see which sales channel they're in. Then I can check that and I can also move it up, right? So I could also say, that's a display that's super important to me. And then I always see sales channel all directly here. All means, of course, that it's currently entered in all of them. Exactly. If it were in a specific sales channel now, then that would, of course, look different again. We can also set how many customers we actually want to see per page down here, right? Now we have a few more here. We can go up to 100, as far as I know, and we can still do the language switch up here, right? So once for German and once for English. Display the whole thing here, for example. If other languages are available, then there are, of course, even more. If the overview suits us so far, then we can directly deal with how such a customer data record is actually maintained in detail in the administration. First of all, we, of course, have the option to add a new customer up here. It's relatively self-explanatory. The mask also looks, well, similar to what we're about to look at. I'm just going to edit a customer right now. Exactly, and basically just fill in the data, save it, and you're done. A very simple matter. Let's just take Max Mustermann here and open him up, and then we can already see here, okay, he hasn't generated any revenue for us yet. He's in all sales channels. Here we can see the address. We can also see any custom fields. Here we have, the addresses that are stored for him. Also important at this point, which isn't always immediately clear to everyone, there can, of course, be a shipping address and a billing address that differ from each other. This can often, especially in daily operations, lead to problems where the customer, for example, accidentally enters the billing address as the shipping address or something. That's a classic case. If they call, you can just go here. And I'll show you in a moment how to edit all of this and then adjust it very easily here so that the order still reaches the customer and the invoice goes to the right address. Then, last but not least, we can see which orders exist for the respective customer. In this case, there aren't any. But I could also, for example, if I have the customer on the phone right now, add an order for them here. Now let's go to the big magic button and say we're going to edit the whole thing. Now I can really go through everything here. So it doesn't matter anymore. I can say here, what kind of customer type is this? I can adjust the specification names. I can also add a company name. If, for example, they forgot to register as a company, I can adjust that here afterwards. It's important, of course, that the customer data is correctly maintained. We can also change the customer group. That's also always a thing if you want to, for example, subsequently, activate customers for certain things or offer them different prices, or if you have any rules regarding customer groups, then you could still adjust that here. Manually is no problem at all in case something went wrong. I can also adjust the language for the customer. I can store a date of birth and so on and so forth. So there's plenty of options. Down here, we can then edit the default shipping address and the default billing address. As I said, we can easily adjust those, we can swap them, we can add new ones. The customer can also choose for themselves with each order where it should go. That's no problem at all. For that, let's go up here to the tab once more. The shopping cart symbol stands for the shipping address and the paper symbol for the billing address. I could say here, for example, hey, in this case, the shipping address matches the billing address. And then I can just click save at the top, and then that would be stored like that for Max Mustermann. It's as simple as that. It's actually no great feat here to maintain the customer data records. I hope you have a lot of success with Shopware, and then I'll see you in the next video. Take care.